Well, after a bit of a break, I'm back down in my basement, and frankly, my timing couldn't be better because just this morning, Apple officially pulled back the curtain on its long-awaited noise-canceling over-ear headphones, the Apple AirPods Max. And there are just a couple things we should clear up right away with respect to these things. Number one, this name is not good, y'all. I firmly believe that AirPods Studio, the sort of rumored code name that was floating around before the official announcement this morning, that was the better name. You should have gone with that, Apple. The other thing people are really getting hung up on is how much this thing costs, which is completely fair. This is a $550 pair of headphones in a space where you can get some of the best wireless headphones possible with tremendously good noise cancellation for several $100s less than that. I'm talking Sony and its, WH-1000X Mark IVs. Those are normally $350. They recently went on sale for Black Friday for well under $300. There are also options like Bose and its sort of wireless 700 series noise canceling headphones. It's a little tuned in specific ways, but that's Bose for you. And the noise cancellation is phenomenal. And even before that thing went on sale, it still costs $150 or so less than the AirPods Max. Point is, if you want some of the best wireless headphones and some of the best noise cancellation you can get, you don't have to buy Apple AirPods Max. So what could possibly justify the price here? Well, after digging into things a bit, there are a few things that might help justify the cost. And the first is noise cancellation. Each cup of the AirPods Max has 3 outward-facing microphones to pick up ambient sound and start generating anti-noise to cancel that sound, and then 1 set of inward-facing microphones. So that's directly pointing at your ear. All of those combined, Apple believes pretty firmly will give you the best noise canceling possible. And we'll have to see exactly how that turns out. What's also really interesting about the AirPod Max is the sort of computational capabilities that are baked into them. Each of the AirPod Max's cups also has an H1 chip inside, and Apple says those things are capable of handling about 9 billion operations a second, which is pretty wild when you consider these aren't in a phone. They're not doing anything super heavy. One would think they're just inside headphones, but that's led to a whole other strain of discussion about whether these things have some role to play in Apple's future in AR, but that's honestly a story for another time. Point is, Apple is using these chips to power some of its really computationally sophisticated features like adaptive EQ, which the company says is really all about trying to make sure the headphones sound the way they're supposed to at all times. So, for instance, I have glasses on. If I'm wearing AirPods Max, the headphones will be listening to what I'm hearing and will be able to detect the sort of slight gaps between my huge head and the ear cups that form because of the arms of my glasses. And in some cases, you'd expect some of the bass to be less prominent because the space is not enclosed around your ears. In that case, the AirPods Max are said to actually amp up the bass to compensate for it. And there are a lot of interesting little situations where sort of having an intelligent set of headphones could be really helpful. That's just one of them. But it is hard to get a sense of exactly what value that brings to the table now. Like so many of the other things Apple has invested in over the years, a bit early, like LiDAR in the iPad Pro and the neural engine way back when that started being a thing, and having a dedicated neural network tasks. It takes a while for these things to become mainstream, and Apple is very much a company that seems dedicated to the long game. It's going to make these features as widely available as they can. They're going to try and make them somewhat indispensable, and then they really start to amp up the innovation. And then, of course, there's Spatial Audio, which kind of debuted as part of iOS 14. Basically, once you have the headphones on, you'll get a more immersive kind of soundstage. And as you move your head around, the gyroscopes and the accelerometers, both in the headphones and your connected device, those things will work together. They will work in tandem to kind of make sure that what you're hearing sounds the way it's supposed to, no matter how you're sort of craning your head around, which does seem really, really interesting. And beyond that, they're really just kind of nice wireless headphones. They will pair to non-Apple devices over Bluetooth just fine. You can still use noise cancellation. These sort of computational features like spatial audio, and that's obviously not going to work. There's just no way for something like an Android device to have the access to the headphones needed to make that work. The design, I think, is honestly kind of divisive, but it does have, to me at least, the potential to be kind of a status symbol. And that kind of nicely brings me to my final point, which is, yeah, if you look at the AirPods Max on paper, there is no reason to pay that much for these headphones unless, and this is a stretch, I'll admit, but unless you're the kind of person who is constantly on 14, 15-hour flights back and forth. And that's not really a thing anymore either, at least for now. So yeah, I feel comfortable saying, purely based on the merits, purely based on what we're seeing on paper, there's no reason you should buy one of these over some of the really tremendous options that are already out there. But they're probably gonna sell like crazy anyway, and that's just because Apple is Apple. AirPods are AirPods. AirPods have become this thing, and there's little reason to believe that people will not buy into the AirPods Max, not because they're great headphones necessarily, but also because of what they represent, the largesse, the sort of cachet that comes with rocking these sort of premium headphones that not everyone gets to afford. That's the thing for people. And I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. Anyway, thank you for indulging me as I get back into the swing of things and rant at you about headphones in my basement. If you have feedback about these headphones or the video itself, let us know down in the comments, or you can email me at v8engadget.com. It feels good to be back. It's great talking to you. I'll see y'all again soon.